Sit down, sit down, I've got a story to tell. Sit down, I've got a story to tell. Sit down.
Oh, what's going on, YouTube? Sitting here with Jim Rice. I guess here's the number one question. I should have asked this before. Like, what would you say your official title is with Rebel? Jim Rice.
Business guy.
Business guy of Rebel Music Stage.
Business guy.
We're eating some real chili.
Real chili. 3 locations in Milwaukee. They're all awesome. This one's from 17th and Wells. It's been around since 1931. Same chili recipe. They don't do anything else. They're amazing. Open until 3 a.m. So you go there right after bar close. It is perfect.
You're technically my first guest that isn't like a performer, too.
I suppose
like all the people that I talk to are like performing.
I'm not a limelight guy. I'm not
awesome.
a limelight guy.
But that's what I like about you. It's like you have just as much, if not more, passion than anybody I've ever met, and it's not even. It has nothing to do with you. You just have passion to share and promote. It's amazing.
Even though I'm not good at any sort of, call it, or I've never dedicated myself to any sort of performing art, I should say. The whole business and the organization side of things, I love that. You know,
seeing you work is almost like watching somebody perform. Because
well, I think that's being a little too nice to me.
Well, because I can't do what you do. I don't even know what you do.
Nobody.
I'm such an asshole. It's like he does something cool.
No. Well, okay. My day job is I work as a sales rep for a major manufacturer in the industrial automation and power transmission world.
So you sell like parts and shit?
I sell electric motors and the stuff that controls them. I'm involved with a nonprofit that's just getting off the ground right now that we're trying to make it really short, we get in books through donations, be it private party or commercially, and we put half of them in a library, in a core library that'll eventually be a public space that we want to use as kind of an educational commons for homeschool parents to socialize the kids. That's the biggest issue most people have with homeschooling. That's half of it, and then the other half is there's been a proliferation of little free lending libraries. I don't know if you're familiar with those. So you don't see them in a lot of lower income areas or downtown or in commercial places.
And that's what you're trying to change.
That's what we're trying to change. So because all the books are donated, the idea is, hey, if this is downtown where crime is perhaps higher, do you want to put 20 books in there and have them get stolen? Well, if one out of those 20 books, be it fiction or nonfiction, our whole thing is encouraging self-education and just bettering yourself. Read whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, if the books are donated,
if one out of 20, who cares?
Yeah, this is the kind of shit that I wanted to give a little bit of highlight. You know what I mean? That for as much fun as everybody has, there's a lot of work that goes into it, and I feel like. Not that you don't, but like I want to highlight the fact that like there's awesome people out there that it wouldn't be where it is if people didn't work as hard. And I think everything you do is amazing. Like there's everything I learned. It's so cool. So it's like
well, right back at you.
That's why.
Cheers to that.
Hell yeah.
To you and Rebel.
Everything is so cool.
I should clarify the big thing with Rebel. We're the original independent music stage at Summerfest. First official year 2008. Last year we had over 82 acts throughout the entire 11 days. But our big thing is local, or if not local, original content. I think maybe we had 1 or 2 bands that are signed to an actual label. Otherwise it's all just artists and entertainers out there.
You've been with the Rebel Stage since you hopped on when? 2008?
2008, yeah. That's actually when I first met Owen. It was the first official year of the stage. And I worked for Summerfest as a paid driver.
Okay.
And
I don't think I heard this story. This is good.
As a driver, our job was to drive the bands to and from the stages. Well, my first go happened to be Owen and a few other guys. So we met each other. So I ended up helping in the way that there was no transport. So all the bands that were playing had to walk. Anything. If you had a full kit, you had to walk it in. They didn't have radios.
Oh my gosh.
To call in for rides, anything like that. So my initial help was, these guys are awesome, and I liked this whole like pirated out stage. That was the Rebel Stage beginnings. So I helped them by, I gave my cell phone number, and I'd hook them up with transport. They'd hook me up with beers, and when I got off, I'd come hang, or we'd just go out for drinks after. I was a hauler in 08 and 09, and in 09 I'd help a lot more than even in 08. come 2010, I wasn't working with the company that was hired by Summerfest to be a driver, because I was a third party. I wasn't directly employed.
Oh, okay.
2010, I signed on, basically full on. Owen does most of the talent booking. He's in charge of all of what bands play when. When it comes to the music side of things, that's his baby, and that's kind of how we're the yin and yang that's making things work now. Is he handles all of that, I handle all of mine, and it's what we're good at.
You guys are like running around, everybody's having fun. It's fucking Summerfest, and yet everything's so cool. The bands are always having a good time. Everybody's always having fun.
That's the whole idea.
I heard there might be a rumor of a drag show at the Rebel Stage next year, where you guys are gonna put a bunch of makeup on. I'm pressuring you on the video now.
Well, okay, we might get, even though we're independent, we have to make sure that with all of the sponsorships and all the corporate BS that Summerfest has to deal with, being what they are, this big thing, there's a lot that we have to be careful about to maintain our status. So we can't have any official sponsorship, which is part of what makes us, it forces us to keep that
local aspect.
Because it has to be us, we can't bring in other sponsorship because that would be a conflict of interest for Summerfest. How we do everything we do right now in terms of funds for getting the equipment we need or just the basic day-to-day supplies, we make that by donations. We have a GoFundMe account which is listed. We also sell merchandise. We have T-shirts for men and women. We've got hats, patches.
Totally forgot about that. The compilation disc. I wanted to talk about that.
We've got a compilation CD, and we want to do many more. We're calling it The Evidence. The first is Volume 1, and what we did is we asked groups that we thought represented our range and the amazing performers we have that we've worked with or that stood out to us for $5. You can't beat it, and we just do that solely so we have cash to handle the day-to-day operations, to cover gas.
And the bands don't get the money. They donated those songs.
They donated the use of their own track that they may have busted their ass for. These performers, not just the staff, they're the ones who are putting in their time. Yeah, volunteering. We don't have a budget. There's a few bands that if I can. Shout out that I talked about the 1-6, America's Addiction. They've been a big help.
No Conviction's awesome.
No Conviction's awesome. All the guys from Whiskey also volunteer and help. Matt and Brian and Andy and Kat. And we also sell art. And to try to promote not just that's why we say entertainers, not just acts.
Right.
And not just bands. Our whole thing is we just want it to be fun, and we're trying to make it more organized, more legitimate, if you will. But the whole thing is, and the mantra that Owen has said from the beginning is we're a do-it-yourself stage, and we're always going to be a put-it-together with duct tape stage, and that's how we like it.
That's all right, though, because that's what the appeal is. We're not
corporate.
We're not looking for the same thing that all these other stages have, because if we did, we would just go to those other stages. Like, the Rebel stage sticks out so much because of what it is, not because of what we're trying to be. Do you know what I mean? The Rebel stage isn't like...
By the way, I'd like to cut him off. He shot in there what we are. Pip is very humble, and he should be recognized. Pip kicks ass.
Rebel stage has exploded past Summerfest itself. I feel like the Rebel stage is almost more of like a Rebel lifestyle now, because it's not just about the Rebel stage, it's about constantly trying to push that idea of, if you do it yourself, look at what we can. Look at what we did by ourselves.
That's why it's make a scene. Make a scene, and that make a scene we want. One of our future plans. It's not really set in stone necessarily right now, but we've been talking, and one thing Owen and I were clear on with each other is we want to do something positive and not just showcase local musicians, but how can we use this huge network that we have of all these amazing people and entertainers to benefit other people while still having a good time.
Right.
So. And that's kind of the if you diluted it all down, if you got to the core of it, that's really what we want to do. So we've got a lot of ideas coming up, and ideally, if things come to pass as we want, we'll be doing at least one charity event a month. They may not be in a bar or something like that, but we want to do at least one a month with a different charitable organization or event, some sort of drive. And kind of use our resources to help somebody else that way, because
that's super cool. I was part of the Punk Rock for Socks,
which was awesome.
The Rebel charity event for Children's Hospital. We were raising children's socks. It
Yeah.
to donate to Children's Hospital, and it turned out awesome. How much did you say we raised for that one?
I believe the total cash was a little over $200 cash and over 1,000 pairs of socks in
That's
one
awesome.
night at a free show that we had some incredible performers at, including Pip here, who was
that
incredible.
Was awesome. It was such a good night.
We had it at Sabbatic, so big shout out for them helping us out. On Milwaukee.com, Molly from On Milwaukee kind of put it all together. Besides getting exposure and besides helping charities, we want to help the local artists. You know, a lot of them, they need to get paid, you know, and they've done a lot to volunteer for us. So what we also want to do is, and what we've begun to do, is work with local venue owners, event planners.
And that's what I love about it. There's so much ideas going on, and you never know from what we're talking about now what kind of awesome things are going to be developing. So anything
We
that
don't
we
even
talk
know.
about, that
We don't even know.
You got to follow it, because it's an ongoing, evolving entity that's you don't want to miss out on. It's amazing. If you guys are interested in any of the stuff we're talking about, there'll be a list of links in the description.
And we'll have our website up, rebelstage.com, or therebelstage.com, coming up very soon. We're just putting the final touches on that.
I think that just about wraps it up. Jim, thank
right.
you so much. This has been a blast. Chili's
yeah.
been delicious.
Yeah,
I'm
chili and whiskey.
toasted off. That's good.
All right, cheers,
Cheers,
brother.
Hell yeah.